Welcome back to my vlog, y'all. Seen a lot of pictures lately on Facebook with this trend where people are not tinning the entire pad for the wires or even the power pads on the 4-in-1 ESCs. They just tin the outside here and just, a little bit of the wire they tin and solder it to it. Maybe they're not tinning the pads at all and they're just tinning the wire and then sticking it to the end of the pad. I don't know. I'm going to show you the proper way to do it. Let me get my... If you got a... I think this thing's empty. If you got a no clean flux pen, doesn't hurt to clean these with. It's not absolutely necessary though. Never actually had a problem with the solder sticking. Barely anything in there. Alright. Make sure your soldering iron tip is clean and not oxidized. If the solder doesn't melt right away when you put it on the iron, then it is oxidized. It should just melt like that. And do not tin with this really wimpy gauged, I don't know what gauge this is. It's ripped off. But that's really thin gauge solder. You want to tin with something like that. Something thick. So you want to get as much solder on there as quickly as possible. See, that's how long it should take to tin a pad like this. And give it time to cool down after you tin the battery pads. It's not real hot, it's just warm. But I don't, no sense rushing it. And clean your tip. Doesn't hurt to clean it every single time. I don't clean mine every single time. I am guilty. But you should really clean it every single time. See how fast I'm doing that? Fast. That one's, not quite tinned all the way, but that's alright because we're going to put a wire on there and it will spread out. But you should have the whole pad covered. They give you that pad that size for a reason. I'm not an electrical engineer, I don't know the reason. I'm assuming it's for better electrical connection, and obviously the more solder you have, the more wire and solder you have on the pad, the bigger pad, the tougher the connection is going to be. And see, that one did not want to stick. Really fast. You don't need to hold it there forever. That's it. Done. I'm not ready to solder up this ESC yet. It's going to go on a... see, now that is not super hot. I can hold my finger on it. If you can't hold your finger on it, you're probably getting your ESC way too hot, y'all. These little FETs, man, you get those hot, they're going to start, shifting. Doesn't take much to shift one of these little FETs if you get it really, really, really hot. Don't do that, y'all. Don't do that. Yeah, I like a lot of solder on there. I may have said solder in this video. I sometimes say solder, sometimes I say solder. If I said one or the other, I'm sorry. I actually like pronouncing it both ways. They don't actually have a gauge on this Alpha Fry solder. Not that I can see. Anyway, this is 60-40. 60-40 solder. You need lead solder. Don't try anything with lead free. Forget about it. Alright, I hope this helps somebody. This is gonna be a short video. I'm just gonna post this. I'll do a more in-depth video when I build my 6-inch smooth operator. This is the famous Hobby Wing 45 amp 4-in-1 that everyone seems to have. I think at least one person has burned one. Seems like. I'm gonna see if I burn one. This will be my first one. Like and subscribe, y'all.